All right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, or the Staten Island, my homeboro, Brooklyn. Back at another video, and this is going to be an aftermath video on the Ravens-Titans wildcard matchup. In my opinion, probably one of the best game of the weekend. You know, the Browns, as I'm recording this video, the Browns-Steelers game hasn't been played yet, so we'll see. But this definitely was the best game of the weekend because this is the most intense rivalry. Okay, the Ravens-Titans rivalry is starting to get revitalized. You know, all you know in NFL history back in really to just 2000, the late 90s, early 2000s, the Ravens and Titans had an intense rivalry. You know, Titans had Steve McNair, rest in peace, Eddie George. They had Derek Mason and Frank Wycheck, the tight end. Then the Ravens, of course, had Jamal Lewis, and they had Ray Lewis, and they had Peter Boulware, Rod Woodson, all those dudes. Later on, Ed Reed and Terrell Suggs. So the Ravens Titans were a rivalry. They met in the playoffs in 2000. Of course, the Ravens beat them. 2003 in the wild card round, the Titans beat them in Baltimore. 2008 in Tennessee, Baltimore beat them. Now 12 years later, 13 years later, Baltimore gets their revenge in Tennessee. Of course, 2019, the Titans beat the Ravens in Baltimore, and that's where it's all started. You know, the Ravens, of course, we all know were 14-2. They ran through the league. Lamar was the MVP. The Tennessee came in and bullied them, beat them 28-12. Man, and I picked the Ravens. I want to see Lamar. I mean, I think the Chiefs were going to go to the Super Bowl anyway, but I wanted to see that Lamar-Pat Mahomes matchup. Okay, you know, and then of course this season he lost to the Titans again. Here the Ravens stomping on the Titans logo after Marcus Peters iced the game with the interception. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. You know, Lamar, you know, Lamar's had this, you know, this stink around him. You know, if that makes sense, a stink around him of not playing well in big games. You know, games against Patrick Mahomes, he lost. Games against the Titans in the playoffs, he lost. A couple years ago against in the Chargers and Baltimore that he lost. I think it was in the wild card round. Well, this year against Tennessee in the regular season, lost. This year in Pittsburgh, lost. You know, he just couldn't play well in big games when it was essential. Okay, and now he won his first playoff game against Tennessee in Tennessee. So shout out to Baltimore, shout out to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. You know, I think they need to get this monkey out of his back. You know, because Tennessee kind of owned them, and now I think mentally, in terms of mental warfare, they're on the same level. Because there's going to be a fun rivalry in for the next couple years. But anyway, and let me talk about this. Marcus Peters, let me tell you something. For the Baltimore Ravens, as long as Marcus Peters is producing, don't get rid of him. Okay? Don't get rid of him. No matter what bullshit, as long as he's producing, don't get rid of him. Okay, I know Marcus Peters, he's somebody who can give you wild and go, you know, go out of line, get out of pocket. But, you know, it's worth it because, you know, this game-icing pick, he won the Ravens game with this pick. And then, of course, he brought the swagger, dancing on the Titans logo, the Tennessee Titans logo, and everything, trash talking. Like Marcus Peters is that dude. He's from Oakland. He's got that Oakland swag in him, you know. But, yeah, I think this was a big game for the Ravens psychologically. You know, as I said, they lost to Tennessee in the playoffs last season, and then lost to them in the regular season this year. So I think they really needed this for the psychological warfare, building up their mental toughness. So, like I said, congrats to Baltimore. And I believe if Pittsburgh loses tonight, they'll go play Buffalo and Josh Allen, which I do think Pittsburgh's going to lose. So that's going to be the next tough challenge, playing against Josh Allen. Can Lamar beat the great quarterbacks of his generation? You know, Pat Mahomes, you know, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, depending on what goes on with him. You know, right now I think he wants to get out of Houston, or they're trying to trade him out of Houston. But when Lamar faces the other great stars of his generation, he loses. So Josh Allen and Lamar are going to be contemporaries in the league for the next 10, 15 years. So Lamar, right now he's beat the Titans. He's beaten one of his bullies per se. So now he's got to go and face another, even though the Ravens and Bills haven't had any interaction, any intense meetings before, you know, like I said, Lamar's known not to come up well in big games, so they need this. And then they'll probably more likely go face the Chiefs in the conference championship. And can Lamar beat Pat Mahomes in Kansas City? And then, of course, the Super Bowl, you know, so, you know, there's a lot at stake for the Baltimore Ravens. You know, I'm rooting for them, you know. I think they're going to beat Buffalo. Well, that's, again, because I think Pittsburgh's going to lose. So if Pittsburgh loses, they'll go play Buffalo. So I think they're going to beat Buffalo in Buffalo. I think it'll be a close game. But, yeah, I can't wait. You know, because I really want to see Lamar Jackson win. You know, kind of get the monkey off his back of not playing well in big games. And He took one step into getting that monkey off his back. Now he's got to take a couple more. Now he's got to take another. Going into Buffalo, in the cold. You know, I think, let me tell you something, man. It gets cold in Baltimore, but up there but here in New York, especially out there in Western New York, oh, hell no. That's a different level of cold, man. That's right there by Canada. So the Ravens better suit up, layer up, you know, wear hoodies under their pads and shit. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's going to be a cold-ass game in Buffalo. But, yeah, and this was a good game overall. Good game. The Ravens did a good job at stopping Derrick Henry. So kudos to their defense. They stacked the deck, the front seven, stopping Derrick Henry. You stop Derrick Henry, you can pretty much stop them, the Titans, because, you know, Ryan Tannehill, look. Ryan Tannehill, he's a serviceable quarterback. Is he a perennial Pro Bowler, potential Hall of Famer? No, not in my opinion. But, you know, you stop, you know, the same way the people stop the Ravens, like you stop Lamar from running, you can beat him. You stop Derrick Henry, you can beat the Titans, all right? So that's a game plan for Tennessee, or against Tennessee, for teams to play against Tennessee, obviously. And of course, it doesn't hurt to have, you know, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters, two of the best corners in the league. You know, but yeah, shout out to the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. All right, I'm gonna see y'all.